Welcome into this segment of Behind the Pen presented by MostValuablePodcast.com. If you want to listen to the full podcast, go to blogtalkradio.com/MostValuablePodcast. Also, we're on iTunes, so check us out there as well. Thank you all for listening as always, and enjoy the show. All right, guys, we're chugging right along here on Behind the Pen. Thank you for sticking around if you're on blogtalkradio.com/Behind the Pen. I really do appreciate you listening. You guys are the lifeblood of Most Valuable Podcasts. YouTube, thank you guys for checking in. This is your segment, the Seattle Mariners. I'm going to talk about the Mariners because Jerry Dipoto is a nut job. And I say that with love because he's so entertaining. Just mixing and matching and doing things and stuff and creating trades and acquiring players and talent and drafting guys who are in top 15 and, MLB's top prospect ranking. So exciting stuff for the Seattle Mariners moving forward. After they finished 2016, 86 and 76 in second place behind the Texas Rangers, and they honestly weren't too far off from winning that division. I mean, they were in it. When it came to September, they were right there. And guys, I was really rooting for the Mariners, to be honest. They're a fun team to watch, but they're a different team now. Dipoto made 11 different trades this offseason. I'm going to try and hit on all of them and try and touch on the most significant. But I want to go back real quick and talk about something that relates to my favorite team, the Chicago Cubs. That's Dan Vogelbach. They acquired this guy from Mike Montgomery, who did record the final out of the World Series. Hope you Mariners fans enjoyed that because Montgomery got the ring and the Cubs got the ring. And in my head, I got the ring because I've lived through. Okay, that's enough. But we look at Dan Vogelbach, and I think he's legit, guys. I think you got a real talented player there with a ton of power. He's decent defensively at first base, could play DH for you as well. I mean, you have Nelson Cruz there, so that's solidified, to say the least. You still have Nelson Cruz and Robinson Cano there for you, as well as Kyle Seager. Like, those are three superstars on your club. And what do you need to win? Superstars. So you add in Vogelbach, young player, a lot of potential, could provide. They're expecting a lot from him over there at first base, and rightfully so. The Mariners are built to make some noise in the American League this season, and I think they can do it. I really do. I feel like they're going to be in the conversation because that American League West is going to be very, very competitive because the Astros made a ton of improvements. Obviously, the Rangers are still the team to beat, arguably. And then you have the A's and the Angels. Angels don't know what they're doing ever. I really don't. And the A's, Billy Beane, is going to do what he does and probably win 72 games if he's lucky. Anyway, so we're focusing on those three teams. And the Mariners, what fans? They're in the conversation. Keep me interested until August, say late August, until the Seahawks start up, right? Or if you're a Seattle Sounders fan, if you're into that kind of thing. Seattle's got great fans, guys. Like their sports stadiums, obviously the 12th man with the Seattle Seahawks over there. It's just incredible what they were able to, and even the Sounders too when they come out. And that's why I want the Mariners to be good. The Mariners have a really cool stadium. That's definitely a city that I want to travel to that I haven't yet. And I want to experience at least one sporting event, whether it's the Seahawks or the Mariners. I'm not a big soccer guy, so I probably pass on the Sounders game. Thanks for the offer. But I do want to go to Seattle and experience the city because it's awesome. We're talking baseball here, and I'm sorry I backtrack a lot here on Behind the Pen. So they move. I was surprised in this move. Let's move on here to the next conversation. And that's they moved Taijuan Walker and Ketel Marte for Jean Segura, the Diamondbacks. Now, Jean Segura absolutely killed it with Arizona last year, moving from shortstop, where he was predominantly there in Milwaukee, over to second base, and he did really well. I thought the Diamondbacks had something there at second, and so I was not expecting this move at all, right? And a young Taijuan Walker, 25 years old, I do believe he's going to be 25 entering this season. I thought he was going to be a really solid pitcher. I thought he had a future with the Mariners as a legitimate middle of the rotation or top third of the rotation starter. Now, I got to be honest, I don't watch Mariners games for a living, so I don't watch Taijuan Walker pitch every single outing. So you should tell me if I'm kind of off base here, but I thought Taijuan Walker would be something of value that the Mariners could keep to complement guys like Asashi Okuma, who's very valuable, as well as obviously Felix Hernandez, the king. So those three guys right there, I thought you could build around and, kind of go from there. But Gene Segura, incredible value for Gene Segura. What you're bringing on to your club. He's taking over for Ketel Marte at shortstop, and I think he's going to be great there defensively with Robinson Cano to his left. That's going to be a dangerous up-the-middle threat. Still have Leonis Martin over there in center field. So up the middle, you look pretty good. Obviously, that catching situation, though, guys, beat it to death, but it's still a question mark. It's been a question mark for a long time. And you're still waiting for Mike Zunino to just break out in the major leagues, right? Because 3rd overall pick in 2012 for the Mariners, and so far it's not been so good. So you brought in Carlos Ruiz as a backup. I mean, that you can live with that. It's not too terrible. But the catching situation, for the most part, has been just one big cluster of blah, right, for the Mariners. And that, I mean, at the plate, Zunino's a good defender, but at the plate, he provides almost nothing. So we'll see how he matures in that regard. Moving forward, however, I still think overall the Mariners are in a good spot. I mean, their rotation, well, we'll get there. Hang on. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around in my brain. Hang on. Right now, I'm looking at their outfield, right? And you add a Jared Dyson. Jared Dyson, sneaky savvy signing, right? Gets on base, had a really good year with the Royals last season. Steals a bag. It's going to be crazy along with Leonis Martin giving you 25 steals of his own. So that's a nice little duo there in the outfield. Provides astounding defense. I'm not sure if Dyson takes over the everyday starting job in center field and Martin moves over to left or something in the corner. We'll see about that. But that's two nice little players there in the outfield. And then rounding it off, they're replacing Seth Smith, right? They're going to have to. And right now, it's Mitch Haniger. He's 26 years old. He was a part of that deal with Ketel Marte and Taijuan Walker, bringing over Gene Segura. Here comes Mitch Haniger, guy with limited Major League Baseball experience. Really, nothing to boast about so far, but he killed it. Absolutely demolished AAA last season for the D-backs. So hopefully that can translate if you're the Mariners into a productive player over in the corner outfielder, because that's a position right now that you don't really have much, right? I mean, Martin and Dyson are your mainstays. But other than that, there's not much depth there. I wonder if Dipoto goes out and makes another trade, which would be unreal, or a signing of some sort. Brendan Moss, Jay Bruce, something of that sort. Or maybe a reunion for Michael Saunders. Maybe that's a little crazy. I saw the Phillies were interested in Saunders, but you add power into that corner outfield position, even boost that lineup even better. So I don't know. Who knows what Dipoto's thinking, because I don't. This guy's making moves left and right, totally revamping this roster, this Major League roster. He totally changed the starting rotation outlook. You have Hernandez, Iwakuma, and then under that, it's something different. James Paxton last year emerged. He's 28 years old. 120 innings pitched, did well. Sub-4 ERA, I think. The Mariners are excited to see what Paxton can bring moving forward. Next to him, these are two new players. Yovani Gallardo, he's in. That's a question mark. Yovani Gallardo, his production, you're not sure what you're going to get. Maybe a WAR of 1 as a pitcher. I mean, as a 5-starter, you're going to take that. But the guy that I'm most interested in, and that I'm going to watch very closely with the Mariners, first, he's got to stay healthy. And 2, if he's healthy, how productive is he? That's Drew Smiley. Smiley had himself a season that the Mariners are excited about last year, because I'm looking at the innings pitched, maybe not the ERA, but that innings pitched, it shows. And plus, Smiley at one point of his career was almost untouchable. He had like a 170 ERA at one point late in the season with the Rays, and then before he was shut down. And that was in 2014. And things have changed. 2015, limited opportunity with the Rays, had 66 2/3 innings, pitched well. But like I said, 2016, he had 175 innings pitched. Yeah, that ERA was kind of exaggerated a bit. But if you're the Mariners, that's a guy that you want at the back end of your rotation, and he could surprise you. And that's what the Mariners are banking on. They saw something in Smiley that's worth giving up some prospects for, and I don't blame Dipoto. I mean, these are a lot of pieces to a puzzle, right, being put together all at once by the Seattle Mariners. Right in the thick of things last year, lost some pieces like Seth Smith, but I think they have a nice little healthy balance here to overcome that. I want to mention real quick before I end this show, I'm almost finished here, more things that fit the exciting narrative that is the Seattle Mariners and what they're excited about. That's Kyle Lewis, their 11th overall first-round pick in 2016. Outfielder projected to arrive in maybe a year or two, 2018 possibly. He's got a healthy mix of power and speed. Good defender. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's he's their only top 100 prospect for the Mariners. So they're banking on right now. It's obvious that they want to compete this year, and they have Cano, they have Cruz, they have Segura they brought in. So Vogelbach at first. This is an impressive lineup that can mix and match and do some things. Jared Dyson's, it looks good on paper, but will it translate to on the field? And I think it may. Because when you have a guy like Felix Hernandez who could solidify and lock down, teams are looking for aces. That's probably the most valuable commodity a team can have, an ace. And the Mariners have had that for years. And do you blame Dipoto for going after it now? Because it's been long enough Felix Hernandez hasn't pitched in a playoff game. And I think, he deserves it. Obviously, he's one of the best in the game. But the Mariners deserve it. The fans deserve it. Since 2001, the Mariners haven't been in the playoffs? That's not cool. Something's got to change, and it might happen this year, maybe next year. But I like the direction Dipoto's taking this Mariners team, and I like that he's fearless on the market. It could cost him his job down the road because you could put yourself in a huge hole. But right now, I think it at least gives Mariners fans optimism and an interest level that will keep them involved, as long as they're competitive, until late in the season. And that could go all the way to September. We'll see what happens. But it's January 12th, guys. I love having a chance to talk about warm, sunny, bright weather on this cold, miserable evening here in Chicago in January. My goodness. Sick of this cold weather. I need to move to a warm weather climate, guys. I go to Florida every once in a while, so maybe that might be the destination. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. It's been a hoot for this show, this Behind the Pen. If you're on Blog Talk Radio, you made it. Thank you so much for sticking around throughout this entire podcast. I hope I entertained you. I will entertain you and continue to do so next week and the week after, because I have no intentions of stopping anytime soon. If you're on YouTube, drop a like down below. It really helps out the channel. If you could subscribe, it'd be fantastic for us as well. We're getting there, guys. We're on the move. Be sure to come back for draft conversation, because we're going to do a lot of that. And if you want more Major League Baseball conversation, stay tuned right here to Behind the Pen. As soon as this offseason continues to progress, I'm just going to talk about baseball, because Bears are done and other football nonsense is coming to an end. I'm not really a basketball guy. That's for the fast break. I talk Bulls, but other than that, I'm going to start focusing on baseball for you guys. Hopefully you can join me for that. Talk Mariners today, talk Yankees today, talk Bears today. Be sure to, if you could, become a patron, donate $1 monthly. We can entertain you more so than we already do. Give us an opportunity to get creative. I'm at Rankin 906 on Twitter. If you want to follow our channel on Twitter, run by Sean Anderson, that's at Most Valuable Pod. We're on Instagram and stuff. Just look us up. You'll be there. We're on iTunes as well, so download our podcast there. Guys, it's been a pleasure speaking with you all tonight, this afternoon, whenever you want to listen to this podcast. And as always, we will see you all next time. Thank you guys for sticking around for this segment of Behind the Pen. If you want more Most Valuable Podcast content, click on the video up above, because I don't know why you wouldn't want to keep listening to our voices every day. But again, guys, thank you all for listening. We really do appreciate you.